Hey guys, welcome back to another week of What's for Dinner. So we are starting out by making some potato soup in the crock pot. So here I've got 4 cups of chicken broth, and then I'm going to add a can of cream of chicken and mix that until it is well incorporated. Next, I'm going to add a couple cups of the onion, carrot, and celery mix that I had prepped in a previous grocery haul that I just put in my freezer. I'm just going to throw that in the crock pot as well just to give us a little bit more veggies in this soup. Now I'm going to make things simple by using a bag of frozen hash browns. These are the southern style, so they're the cubed potatoes, but you can use the shredded potatoes if that's what you prefer. I'm just going to soak those down and make sure that they are covered. And then I'm going to throw in half a stick of butter. This is optional, but I do think that it makes it a little bit richer. And then I'm going to go ahead and throw on my block of cream cheese. If I would have been home this day, I would have waited until about 30 minutes before this was done to throw the cream cheese in, but because I was at work all day, I went ahead and threw it in the morning. Now that I am home after work, I'm going to go ahead and stir up the cream cheese into the mixture, and this pretty well dissolves on its own, and this is ready to eat. I'm going to go ahead and work on my cornbread that we always serve with potato soup, but I forgot to get an end clip of this, but this turned out really, really good, and we are actually still eating leftovers on it, so it makes quite a bit. So this next meal is lasagna soup. I almost did not include this, but I changed it up just a little bit this time, so I did want to go ahead and at least talk about it. But I'm just mincing up some ground beef. I'm going to season with salt, pepper, onion powder, and garlic powder. And then I'm going to add some frozen onions and peppers into this mixture as well. Instead of lasagna noodles this time for this soup, we decided to do some cheese tortellini, just the frozen kind. And I forgot to get an in clip of it, but I just threw the tortellini in about 30 minutes before it was time to eat, and it was cooked perfectly. So like I said before, if you have not tried this lasagna soup, you definitely should. My husband is already asking for it again for a 3rd week in a row, so it has definitely become one of our favorites, and it's so good heated up the next day. Leftovers are really good. You just have to be careful about the pasta, but yeah, it turns out really, really good. Highly recommend, and I will leave the recipe down below for you. So here's what it looks like when it all comes together. We just put some mozzarella cheese and Parmesan cheese on top. Turns out so good. Okay, today we're gonna be making some pumpkin dump cake. So I just kind of did a little bit of research and put together a couple recipes that I thought were sufficient. So I have 1 can of evaporated milk. This is 12 ounces. I'm gonna use 1 can of pumpkin puree. This is 15 ounces. I'm just gonna put all this in. Okay, and then I'm gonna put 3 eggs. Okay, and then a teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice.
Mom, you don't have more. Good.
And a teaspoon of vanilla.
Yeah, teaspoon banana. Where's that banana?
And then a cup of sugar.
Sugar. So these are a lot of things. Mom, I taste that.
Okay, I'm just gonna mix this really well with my hand mixer. Now I've got a 9x13 cake pan. I'm just gonna grease with some olive oil just to make sure nothing sticks. Then you're gonna dump your pumpkin mixture in.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay, and then I've got a box of butter pecan mix. Normally I would use pumpkin pie spice, or no, spice cake mix, but they didn't have any at Walmart, so I just decided to get this. You're just gonna sprinkle this on top the best that you can. You're not mixing it in, you're just sprinkling. Okay, and then I have a cup of melted butter. I only had 1 stick, so I did have to substitute with some Blue Bonnet, but it'll work. So you're just gonna drizzle this over the top. Okay, and then this is optional, but I'm gonna top mine with a few chopped pecans. And then I'm gonna sprinkle just a little bit of cinnamon over the top. And then we will bake this in the oven at 350 for about 50 minutes. I'll check it around the 50-minute mark, and then you might have to put it in for another 5 or 10 minutes, but we'll check it at the 50-minute mark. So for this next dessert, we're making strawberry lush. This is something that my girls from work requested that I make for our Thanksgiving potluck. So that is what I did. I will leave the recipe down below for you. I feel like I've made it on my channel a few times. So if you have not made it yet, you definitely should. It's definitely a crowd pleaser. But because strawberries were not in season, I went ahead and made it without strawberries. And then I just took like a side of strawberries to work, and whoever wanted the strawberries could have it with it. But this is definitely an amazing summer dessert, and I highly recommend. So that is going to be it for this week's What's for Dinner. I hope that you guys enjoyed. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, please subscribe. Other than that, I will see you in my next one. Bye, guys.